If immortality was granted to 1 million individuals worldwide, what would be a fair selection process? Rock, paper, scissors, best out of 3. Then best out of 5 if you lose. Then best of 7. Best of infinity. First to die loses immortality. So if you're young, do you physically age? No, you stay forever healthy, but for the sake of example, let's say you stay somewhere between 20 to 40 years old. Thank God. 'Cause I would be pissed if I got trapped as a 5-year-old forever. I'm always surprised at how many mortals currently living stay as 5-year-olds their whole life. Hypothetically, if you slept with a 100-year-old immortal stuck in a 5-year-old, would that make you a pedophile? I've seen this argument pop up a lot in the anime community, addressing people who defend anime characters that look like children but are 18-1000 plus years old, seems relevant to this situation. Doesn't make you a pedophile, I don't think. Definitely makes you a ducking weirdo. Cheers for the upvotes, you lot. I went to high school with a girl who stopped developing when she was 9. Now she is 28 years old and still literally looks like a 9-year-old, and it's near impossible to tell that she's actually older. During high school, she had a boyfriend and everyone thought he was ducked in the head for dating her. I was weirded out too, but I always wondered, are we collectively deciding that she is not allowed or capable of having a regular relationship? Were we discriminating for a physical disability? I could never really decide whether or not it was okay to be at least uncomfortable with a relationship like that. You make one of the best points I'd heard. If she is in fact that age and just stopped developing, not only is it not her fault, but calling anyone a pedo for dating a 28-year-old, midget I guess, is wrong because they are aware that they are old enough, and if they are attracted to each other for more than the body, then it is perfectly right, especially since, well, have fun finding any when you look like a 9-year-old. I don't disagree and I like all the different points. But a 9-year-old and a midget look very different. Short people still often look their age. A 9-year-old will just look like a 9-year-old, even with the mind of an older woman. No, there's fairly rare but definitely documented cases of full-grown adults who could sit down in an elementary school and totally fit in. I'd make sure they actually want to live forever first. Of course. We have to talk about the repercussions. The sun will burn out. You will be left on a frozen planet, or vaporized, I guess, to know how that'll go. I would assume life forever means you are stuck there, cold and dark, forever. So the biggest assholes. It's a punishment. The sun will consume Earth eventually, so that might be unpleasant for a long time until it burns out, or hopefully we manage to get off planet before then so you can hitch a ride off planet to a new one every so often. But again, long times of boredom and isolation between landfalls. Ah yes. Surviving the planet getting vaporized sounds cool. The fuel to get to another planet around another sun that is inhabitable and could allow for a leapfrog is probably so vast that you would never make it. I way prefer this question as a punishment scenario. The outcomes and misery of such an event sound crazy. Just the maddening time scale of it would warp a normal person's mind, I would think, as well. Madness would undoubtedly take over, or they would reach a new level of thinking in that amount of time. Obviously, with that amount of time, a solar sail would be the easiest way to travel and something we can do now, but just getting or hitting a target would be nuts if KS Beat has taught me anything. You would be surprised what human beings will tolerate. The immortals would still have to live in groups, however. Isolation is one of the things that do drive humans unavoidably mad. Edit. I meant in a group of fellow immortals. The Boat of a Million Years by Poul Anderson is a very good read. Adaptability. The world changes dramatically over the course of a few decades. This would only be compounded over centuries and millennia. Think about all the old people who don't want to learn about computers or hold on to outdated prejudices. If you truly wanted to live forever, you would need to be able to not only accept but embrace new situations, technologies, mindsets. It may actually be difficult to find 1 million people who truly have that kind of fluidity while also being discerning. I think you're the first one that mentions adaptability. Makes sense. How would you test this? First, this person would say, I'm obviously incredibly more adaptable than you, just like the people I like. Then, assuming this person doesn't like us, we'd fail the test and be evaporated. The rule is, whoever say it first wins. I'm most adaptable. Duck all of you unless I like you. Edit, feels good. Russian roulette. I'll take those odds. I'll go 7th. ID goes 6th, and if no one dies before you, as soon as they pass you the gun, you know you have the only bullet and you can rob the other 5. Edit, thanks for the awards, kind internet strangers. Russian roulette rules state you need to spin the cylinder of the pistol for each turn. Thanks for ruining our master plan. Plus, you'd only have 1 bullet. No one wants to be the one that gets it, though. Everyone gets assigned a number. And have the random number god handle the rest. Edit, BTW. I've read your responses and must say, there is a lot of Jesus. Also, this is my new top-rated comment, followed directly by the one 6 months ago saying the Great Pyramids, for buildings they have aged exceptionally well, of 12.5k points. And with that I have now 23.8k karma. Thanks guys. One step closer to the 50k. Dibs on being random number god. Every rolling a d20 at once until there are only 1 million people left. Edit. Yet I kinda had a stroke. Someone pointed out that there's a chance that an insufficient number of people, below 1m, might roll a 20. In that case, the ones with the highest numbers will re-roll. Theoretically, you need only select the people who roll 3 to 20s in a row. 1 in people out of 7.7b people is 1 in 7,700. Rolling 3 20s is 1 in 8,000. 8,000, 7,700. Math checks out. At it. Thanks everyone. I only needed 20 karma to get out of newbie jail. Good math. This is actually a great example. It really puts into context how low the odds are of being randomly selected. I rolled 3 20s in a row the other day. It was followed by 2 nat 1s. And Jesus giveth and taketh away. Fight to the death to see who is worthy. In straight up camping, tell the final circle in that case. But then you won't have the good weapons you would have otherwise acquired by killing people along the way. The true weapons came from the friends we murdered along the way. No, the true weapons come from a $6,000 box falling from the sky. 1. Me. 2. People I decide should be permitted to be immortal along with me. Y'all are all thinking the same thing. Edit. Somewhere around 3,400 upvotes, the low-quality replies started coming in. I've disabled inbox replies for this post, so if you're looking to specifically get my attention, it's not going to happen now. 1. Me. 2. People that aren't as smart and so charismatic as I am. Duck if I am creating 999,999 potential sources of competition for Supreme Eternal Overlord. So you're the only one who's immortal? Yes. F. All sweet grandmothers, but only the sweetest of the sweet. At random. Dispassionate, fair to rich and poor alike. Fair enough. What's the execution? A snap of the fingers. Mr. Stark, I feel eternally good. Mr. Stark, I feel really good. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by the toe. If he hollers, let him go. My mom picked the very best one. And you are it. This is where you're supposed to add some extra words so you can pick the person or thing you wanted from the beginning. A tale as old as time. People serving life sentences for heinous crimes. Forever in prison. That's like hell. Breaking out of prison would be a lot easier if you couldn't die. So would leaving a prisoner in a locked cell and never letting them out or needing to even feed them. Who said anything about a cell? Just cover them in layer after layer of concrete. They'll be fine. That's the most cruel thing I can think of. Oh yeah? Well, cover them in layer after layer of concrete while they're wearing wet socks. You ducking monster. Sandpaper treadmill room. Nuff said. This is the worst thing I have ever seen.